All right. Welcome to our official Liga MX and Chill, which is very first one where we pick a game for all our Patreons and for today, everybody actually all around. And we just have fun and we chat about it with Naib, Mr. Cesar, and Jason and myself. The game's about to start. If you're watching in the United States, it's Univision. Naib, if you're watching it in Mexico, where can you
Yeah,
watch it?
I mean, right now you can watch it over here on Canal de las Estrellas. I mean, I
What it,
think that's the
the
main
Stars
Televisa
channel?
channel.
I think we
What
have
is,
that.
what
We
is
have a
that?
Stars channel.
What is
They,
Canal de las Estrellas?
Canal de las Estrellas is basically, Televisa's main channel. I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's where they show the novelas and everything. So this has a
This is a
good
novela feel.
a novela feel kind of deal. No, but it's a nice day actually in Mexico City. So, I mean, for the spectators, a nice day because after the game you can have a picnic and stuff close to the stadium. But for the players, it's not gonna be that fun because the heat is gonna get you after the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, what's the weather like out there right now?
I want to say around 70 Fahrenheit. I want to say
It's not that bad. I mean, I guess
it's the
it's
sun.
in the
The
afternoon,
sun, yeah.
and I guess it's
It always looks deadly in that Puma in the Universitario because of the 12 o'clock games or noontime. All right. Well, it looks like the game's about to start. Cesar, how's it going, sir? It's our first Liga MX and Chill. I started telling people around here, like not people on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, you want to get together for a pre-Super Bowl party in my house? I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it Liga MX and Chill.
and they're like, wait, what? What?
Liga? Like, what is this? Is my wife, right? Liga MX? What is that? Like,
Have
oh,
you
the
not-
Mexican League and Chill.
Oh, have you not heard of the Mexican soccer show? Oh,
Are you-
well,
Are you inviting people? Are you inviting people over? Obviously, the connotation of chill, Netflix and chill. I guess I didn't think about that. All right, the game's on the way.
just tell them just make it a little bit more weird. Be like, no, it's me and my internet friends. Like, it's just me and my internet friends, and it's called Liga MX and Chill. And when you look at it really quickly, it kind of looks like Liga MX and Chili. And it kind of gives you other ideas, like, oh man, maybe we should make it Liga MX and Chili. All of us in the kitchen
That
making
would
some
be
chili.
kind of play on words. Liga MX in Chile.
Yeah, looks like Nahuel Guzman is rocking a cap a lo calero.
Calero.
Yeah.
Did they out? I thought. Oh my gosh! And he almost didn't cut. What? Didn't they have like some kind of rule? Did they appeal and he wasn't allowed to do it only in certain matches? I don't remember that.
No, he's rocking that white cap right there.
Uh,
And it seems that it's not even his. It's probably because it says JR, the initials on the cap. So
Is this a political party?
It's like Joe Hart did that. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? There's a game that was like super sunny for like West Ham. So like some fan like gave him a hat, and then he ended up wearing it during the match.
Yeah. So I mean, we can go over the 11s real quick and see just to
Yep.
paint the picture right away for Pumas is Alfredo Saldívar on goal, Van Rankin on the right as right back, Arribas and Quintana on the center of the defense, Fuentes left back, Diaz Cabrera as the holding midfielders, Barrera on the right, Gallardo on the left, Alustiza playing right behind Nico Castillo. And I don't know, Cesar, if you want to do the Tigres lineup.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so you got Nahuel Guzman in net. You got Jimenez as the right back because remember Shaka got a red in the last game. You got Juninho and Ayala as the two central defenders. You've got Mesa as the left back. You got Carioca and Duenas as the center midfielders. Sosa on the right wing, Aquino on the left wing. Although it kind of mixed up a little bit when you got Valencia up there, who's working with Gignac. But I would say it's kind of like a 4-4-2, which is kind of interesting because it felt like last season Tuca was like really like mixing things up, and he was like, yeah, let's try this 3-1-4-2. Let's try this like crazy attack with an immense amount of like numbers going forward. But now it seems kind of boring. Now, not boring, but just more. I guess not that surprising to see like a 4-4-2 from him after doing some really, really crazy stuff last season.
Anybody surprised with Valencia being up front, up there with Gignac?
Not really. I mean, I think that kind of makes sense. He'll be floating around too. He'll be covering a lot of space.
Well, it's been a Tigres domination in the last, I think, five? Only four wins for Tigres in that sense.
Well, it's been the last three aperturas, hasn't it? The 15, the 16, and the 17.
How are the two teams coming in? Tigres with that Puebla loss after that, well in, and then now Pumas, which people are saying that it was just kind of a great start and then kind of a died off right with have been able to win the last two games.
Yeah, well, Pumas were struggling last season, and then this season they kind of just like caught everyone off guard. I mean, having someone like Nico Castillo helps. He's got like 4 goals already. But I mean, they're undefeated so far, but Tigres are definitely gonna make this difficult for them either way.
Hey, Jason, what are your thoughts about the fact that Edu Vargas is not in the 11?
I mean, I suppose like nothing really surprises me too much with Tigres at this point, and the way they're going to come out with the lineups, basically being that you have, it's just a regular season. They're going to get through. They're going to mix it up. They're going to find, you have to rotate this squad with all these players. So, yeah. And I wouldn't read too much into it. I don't think it means too much. I don't think you can read too much into anything with Tigres, like in the early going of these seasons, frankly.
Yeah, no. I think
Dosa
has been doing actually pretty good this season. I would say he's taking advantage of the starts. It's quite strange because last season he rarely played, so it makes you believe that he came in fit for this season because of how little minutes he had last season. So he was in sharp form for the clausura, and right away, he won. I think he might end up playing a lot of games this season for Tigres.
I mean, he had a great game against Pachuca. I think he had 2 assists in the first 45 minutes. It was really, really impressive to see him down that right wing, which is bad for Jürgen Damm too. Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw the problems initially with Jürgen Damm. I mean, he's had a pretty rough start to the year. I mean, with the fireworks situation, and then with with him going to the Pollo Loco, with the strange thing with him thinking that the police were after him, and then they arrested him. But I mean, that was such a strange. I still don't even know what to make of that. That was really, really odd. But anyway,
and Jürgen didn't play this Wednesday, right, Cesar?
Oh, I don't know actually. I don't know if he played.
No, I don't think he did. No, he didn't play. I don't remember. Jason, did he play against Bosnia?
No, he didn't play.
No, right? Neither did Edson Alvarez play.
No.
Oh, I thought there was like a midweek. Yeah, I don't know. For Mexico, no, yeah, he didn't play. That's right. For some reason, I thought there was like a midweek match for Tigres. It's like, dude, I didn't watch that game. I didn't realize they had him. For Mexico, yeah, he didn't play for Mexico.
Well, first 5 minutes of the game, no real big chances. Gignac did have that kind of weird, my grandma can hit harder than Gignac cut type of shot there.
Shout out to Abuelita Vasquez.
But the stories of the game, Nico Castillo and Gignac, I would say Nico having a better season so far. Gignac kind of quiet. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, it's always that kind of start. No, with Gignac, it seems that he sort of got the hang of how Liga MX works. I mean, he kind of, but actually last season wasn't that spectacular from Gignac, but Tigres still won the title. So I mean, I think it just tells you a little bit about the depth of the team, that Gignac can have an off game, but Tigres could still get a win, for example, today.
We got a comment on the chat from Alex Duza who says, any thoughts on Tuca announcing a retirement date? Seems odd to announce it a few years in advance. So he did say...
I thought he said Alustiza. I was like, what? He's playing
Alex Duza.
Tuca ain't gonna retire, man. He's gonna keep going and going because I can't think of another coach that's made so much impact in the last 30 years than Tuca as a player, and I would see him unless he keeps winning. That money's there. And did you see him in the practices? He's still going out with players and showing them how to kick the ball. As the guy's in excellent shape. So it's interesting that he said a few years back. Maybe that's why you say I'm gonna retire in a few years back, and go, a few years back I'm gonna keep doing it. So
he did say, yeah, it's gonna be 2020, but yeah, I think it's still. I mean, it's a long time from now. It's so much can happen
after the national team.
Hard team to walk away from right now. The Secret Squad.
Where do you go from here in Mexican soccer? Let's just say Tigres gets another win, and he's like, okay, you can't just go to another team.
And he's not going to leave Mexico either. He's definitely staying here. I mean, it's not like he's a young manager either.
It's also, how long has he been coaching? It's more than 20 years, nonstop.
He goes to Valencia.
No,
I
I think
decided to go to
Tigres.
Europe.
Yeah, I think Tigres. They have to win the Conca Champions, no, at least one
Yeah.
time with Ferretti.
Yes.
And right now it's coming up, and we'll see if they have what it takes to actually win it this time. I mean,
Who do they-
it's
Dang you,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Pachuca.
man.
what's Cesar?
really-
Who do they play?
Yeah, who did they play in the round of 16? I forgot.
I gotta check that one. Good question.
I've just been focusing so much on Cholos and like in their CCL run. Like I'm like figure out some stuff about Motagua. To be honest, I had never heard of Motagua before. Cholos are gonna take them on in the CONCACAF Champions League. So yeah, I don't know. Who,
Herediano from Costa Rica.
oh, they're facing against Herediano.
They're gonna face against 3 Mexicans in Costa Rica, guys. You have Landin, you have Arellano, and then you have this other guy that just joined the Heredia side, which I've been kind of following closely. And Landin had a hat trick like a few weeks ago. He's actually doing pretty
Really?
good in the Costa Rica league. And Arellano now joining him. It looks like that failed 2000 and generation, 2012, 2010, that the Olympics generation. What am I saying? 2008. Sorry.
Now you're just saying numbers. You're just saying random numbers now.
Yeah, 2008. Remember that failed Olympics naive? I think you remember where they had.
Yeah. I mean, that was with Hugo Sanchez, no?
Yeah.
That was
that's right.
2007, 2000. Yeah, I think it was 2007 because it was the Beijing Olympics was 2008.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was 2012
2012 London. Yeah.
when he got and these guys had to score 5 goals against Haiti, or I think it was like that. Anyways, so you have that generation lost. Some of them are playing in Costa Rica with Arellano and Landin. And it'd be interesting to see him against in the Conca Champions. And I think that's why they got him, to try to reinforce it. But anyway.
How about Aquino there? He steals the ball. It takes it like the length of the field, past a couple Pumas players, delivers the ball. Like, man, he's on fire right now, Aquino. He looked good on Wednesday too, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
he did.
probably the finishing was probably the main problem there with Aquino, but everything
It's
else was
always the
pretty
thing.
fine.
I think Jason's well aware of that. Jason, do you miss him at all? Like, do you
Oh
think
my
that-
God, yes. Oh yes, very much so. I mean, I was happy to see him go to Europe when he went, but now that he's come back and he's just playing for another team, it's a big bummer, no doubt about it. 'cause,
Playing
like,
for another team and winning championships, eh?
yeah.
I feel like
Thank you.
Aquino has that, like, he's really good against Mexican players, but then against anyone else outside of Mexico.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think he did all right in La Liga. I think he did all right.
I think he'd be much better suited for it now. I think his game has improved a lot since
Thank
then.
you,
And
Luka.
it's all situation, it's all situation, of course. But and he's, I don't know. I think like he has so many skills. Just his like relentless like pressure he could apply on the defensive end is something so valuable and so many teams could use.
I do like it. That pressure he brings defensive. You don't normally see that with that type of player. Like,
Yeah.
Bernardo, Barrera, they really didn't bring that defensive side that Aquino brings, which is really good.
This weekend we already have two scoreless draws, right? Toluca, Necaxa, and what was the other one? Cholos Santos, no?
Yeah, the Cholos Santos game was. I mean, that one. I mean, if you watch a replay, I mean, I think honest Santos probably should have won 1-0, but yeah, ended 0-0.
3-0-0s for Cholos, no, and as away results against
And they-
Cruz Azul, Monterrey, and Santos.
I'll take 0-0 results right now as a Leon fan. Sum it up.
Yeah, we still. How do you feel about that? 5-1, man.
I can't wait till Donovan so he can come in and we can win games.
Dude, you might as well put Donovan as a central defender just so you can like stop the flow of goals or something, man.
He's
Just,
more
like-
he's more in shape than any of our defenders. So because of the way that they're being broken in their ankles and Yarbrough. Oh man, it's just you have to have these 3 games of like 5-0, 5-1, 4-1
Yeah.
for Leon.
But
and then they'll make the playoffs.
it's one of the strangest. It's a mysterious situation, I would say, because they start off the season strong. They look with some, good rhythm from last season going into this start of the season. And then all of a sudden they lose to, I think the one that surprised me the most was Necaxa, because Necaxa just can't score.
Yeah.
And then they just put 4 past Leon. I'm like, what? Necaxa doesn't score 4 against Puebla, man. It was 4 against Leon.
Hey, it's funny because I'm gonna wait one more game the Leon loses, but before Donovan this season, after Donovan this season, I'm waiting for that tweet. Just throwing it out there. I think suppose he's ready to debut against Puebla.
Yeah, everyone's saying that the next game he should be good to go. So that's something to keep an eye on.
I don't think a start though. No, I think it's coming.
Oh, do it. Just make it out there. Like let's go crazy. Start out there.
Make him player manager. Just
this Pumas Tigres is a pretty slow game. No, I just haven't seen that much actually. Like this is a really running slow kind of deal. Like maybe a counter might make it for Tigres. It looks like Tigres has it's trying to lead the game with the possession, but it's you're not looking. It's looking pretty bleak right now.
Question on the chat from Jose Angel Martinez.
Go ahead, Wisa.
Oh no, it's just a question, and we go back. Is Dueñas out of the World Cup picture?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
unfortunately. So. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
He's someone that I know Tom's really high, and I know some of you guys are really high, and I've never really been this high on Dueñas. I feel like he's like jack of all trades, master of none kind of guy. He's definitely flexible in where he can play, but like I don't want him over anyone in any position really. Like so, the flexibility's nice, but I don't know.
I mean, I've always seen him as kind of like a good utility player. Just like have him on the bench, like like someone in the midfield gets hurt, bring him in. So we need him as a right back, bring him in. So I don't think it's that devastating for the national team that he's out of the picture. He was clearly just a backup, but I do think that he still deserves to be there. I think just with based off of what he's done with Tigres, and we've seen what he's been able to do, and just I think he's one of the most talented Mexicans in the league. It is unfortunate, but I think it was pretty clear now that just he's not in the picture anymore.
Full disclosure, I'm double fisting over here with Liverpool Tottenham as well. I got the two screens going, and this is like it's 1-1 right now. About 5 minutes left, and I'm just like in a ball of emotions, trying to not have Liverpool crumble like my Cruz Azul always do, and Liverpool really do. So it's fun. It's
what's your
really
Jason? What's your La Liga team, Jason?
I don't really have one. If I had one, it would be Atletico, but I don't really have one.
Yeah, you just love to get crushed, don't you? I was about to say, is Atletico going to be Liverpool, Cruz Azul, and Atletico? That's like the jeez.
I want to be able to compete, but not actually win things. That's apparently what my psyche chooses.
Looks like Pumas is getting a little closer. We saw Gallardo.
Yeah, they got the ball right now.
They're looking to the right. I really, really like Gallardo, man. I got to meet him on Wednesday for like 20 minutes in this kind of player fans that I was documenting.
Yeah.
And the guy's got such a good attitude towards everything. I mean, fans were kind of asking him some really weird questions, and he's just like laughing about it and enjoying the whole, national team sense. And I see him in the squad in World Cup, in the World Cup, and just as a kid and coming in and what he's doing with Pumas and now in the national team. Again, I don't think it's somebody that's like gonna make it to Europe in the next few years, but I like what he's doing.
What were some of the fans asking Gallardo though?
It's funny because they're like, "Oh, how's the national team? You guys are gonna win the World Cup?"
It's those drinks took over.
It's like it's a cool question, right? But it's like, and he's like, and he answered. He's like, he laughed. He's like, yeah, you know what? We're really united, and why have a goal? Why go if you don't think you can win it? Which is a good answer.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah.
Breaking news, guys. We got a Mo Salah stoppage time winner over here.
Oh,
it's gonna be happy times now.
Congratulations,
what happened?
sir.
Is it Liverpool?
Yeah, sorry.
What's the Mo Salah chant? Are you gonna start doing the?
I know, but
right now it's interesting. No, with Tigres, Mesa playing as left back because Jorge Torres Nilo's not available for this one, and then as right back is Jimenez. Jimenez has had a lot of injuries. No, I think he's been really devastated with a lot of injuries. Of course, Jimenez right now is playing for Chaca Rodriguez. Because, like you said, Cesar, he got sent off in the last game. But Jimenez won a gold medal in 2012. I mean, I think we tend to forget that Jimenez was part of that generation. But it's the injuries that just have messed them up.
We have a corner kick. Pumas, like I said, approaching a little bit more, being a little more offensive. And Cabrera hits it. Doesn't really go anywhere.
Alex,
Oh,
Pumas
gol de
return.
Arribas. Gol de Arribas. The Spaniard, center back.
Significantly ahead of me, huh?
Oh man, nice.
There we go. You're sweet. My Univision is so behind.
It's got to catch up with the Canal de las Estrellas.
No,
I
I
really
think
thought-
it's because, yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like 10 seconds ahead. No, it's
You're
okay.
way ahead.
Mine just went in. It's like 30 seconds. I don't know. Wow.
Alejandro
I think
Diaz
Arribas,
with a
Arribas has
19.
been an excellent signing for Pumas, eh?
Yeah.
I think quietly, you know, he's filling in for Alcoba's shoes. You know, and it's a good goal. The movement defeated actually Ayala in the jump. I think Ayala, Mexican center back that potentially could end up in the World Cup. And I think he lost the marking there against Rivas.
Yeah, I wrote about Arribas before the season started, saying that like he was one of the like top 5, top 10 players to keep an eye on. But I think that the only problem with him is that he's had some locker room problems in the past when he's been in La Liga, and with a couple of different players. So I think that was the only thing to worry about. I mean, but no one's been saying anything about that. No one's been saying anything about him potentially having some locker room problems over here in Mexico. So as long as he doesn't do that, I mean, this is a guy who has a lot of La Liga experience. So I think it is a great signing for them, and I mean, it's paying off if he with the goal already right here today.
I think he was with
The goal comes perfectly. The goal comes perfectly in this game because now Tigres has to go and look for it. And you know, because I was kind of getting scared this could end up being like another scoreless draw like the Pumas America. But no, right away, 19 minutes and we already have one goal. So I think that's good.
He comes out of a header, and I'm not saying that Alejandro Arribas is that top player. He's just not that greatest. It's funny that it came out of a header, and the way that it come in, because it looked like he headed the ball in, and it just kind of like bounced a couple times, and I'm like, that's not goal. Oh, yep, that went in. I kind of already knew it because
you're trying to discredit the goal.
No, but I just thought that it was a very slow goal when he headed it in. And then the only reason why I knew, I'm like, that's not gonna go in, Naive. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh no, that went in. Rayo Vallecano, I think he was in Rayo Vallecano, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The reason why I remember because of Neri Castillo was, and I looked at that. Nah, it kind of reminded me of that.
I actually interviewed Neri Castillo when he was in Rayo Vallecano. I think there was a game between Rayo Vallecano versus Villarreal. And at the time, Villarreal had Giovanni and Aquino on the team. Giovanni didn't want to talk to the media. He just like waved me off. And but Aquino did talk to me and Neri Castillo as well. But it was interesting because and look where both are at. I think Neri's in Greece doing reality shows or something.
No.
He's fishing.
He's fishing. I follow his Netty's fishing on Facebook. I'm certain that I'll keep commenting on his stuff, and hopefully he give me like, if I'm ever in Greece, I'm like, hey man, I love fishing, but I really want to talk to you. I want to hear his story. I'll write a book about that guy one day. That'll be my book.
Do you remember Rayo Vallecano? He got like one lucky goal. I forget which game, and then like a week later he scored a penalty, and then all of us were just like, oh my god, he's back. Netty is back. He scored like 2 goals in like 2 weeks, and we're all talking about how, or at least I was talking about how excited I was that he was coming back.
We'll wait. I know everybody gives
guys 2-2.
Oh no! Oh no!
Last second penalty for Tommy. So,
oh my god!
Was it Harry Kane who got it?
Yeah, of course. It was not a penalty, by the way, but it doesn't matter, right? Anyway.
Oof.
Serenity now.
Was it a home match for Liverpool?
It was. Yes, it was.
Speaking of EPL and Europe, how about all of our players and our Mexicans abroad? Everyone getting minutes, starting, doing something great. If they keep on until the World Cup, I mean, we were complaining over the break that Mexicans weren't getting minutes, but it looks like everything's working out.
I mean, that was just one day. I hope it continues. I'm not sure if it will. I really do like hope stuff like this happens more regularly, but it's gonna be hard to beat this weekend, man. It's just.
But even if but I mean, it was just they're playing. That's how desperate we are.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Chicharito had that amazing goal. Reyes, Jimenez had a goal. But it's like
Chucky had 2 assists.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to put that on the table. In your opinions, who was the most important? Like, who had the most important performance this weekend out of everyone?
I mean,
Okay.
Chicharito coming back with his goal. I mean, it was an amazing goal.
I
As
would
far
say-
as like your fat, yeah.
I would say that Reyes, just because it looks like more than any. I mean, it just looks like Reyes is going to be a starter for Osorio. I mean, I think Osorio is a big fan of him. It seems like it wouldn't be surprising if he started in a defensive midfield position for El Tri. So I think it's just so crucial for him to be getting minutes and also just confidence over there with Porto. And this is his 3rd goal in all competitions since December. So
I didn't.
I think I think that was pretty important.
And for some reason, I can't watch Porto games like my streams or anything. But I feel naive. Where is he playing in like what position is he playing?
Well, right now he's playing a center back, you know.
Yeah.
But initially in like December, he actually did have games as a defensive midfielder.
I just haven't seen him play that defensive mid like I wanted to.
So I mean, and actually he did pretty good in that game. But it was just one little sample. But the last 2 starts I think he's had with Porto have been a center back.
Yeah.
They're still in the Champions League. Let's not forget that. So, you know, if he can get those minutes in Champions League as center back or defensive midfield, I think it will be important. You know, Raúl Jiménez scored, but the thing about Raúl is he comes in the 80th minute when everything is done already. And of course the goal is going to come, you know, it's a parade.
It was like the 5th goal, right? It was like their 5th goal to get into. Yeah.
Important goal. Like I always feel like he's 4 or 5 goals in. Raúl Jiménez scores again. Yeah. Well,
Which is yeah, and I think yesterday I had a chance to see Chucky's game. I saw the whole thing over there. Banchip is the coach of a team over there in Eredivisie. I think Pex Wole is the name of the team. But Banchip, you know, coach Chivas. So it was interesting to see him now over there in the Netherlands. Chucky had 2 assists yesterday. He got 1 shot that hit the post. But, you know, he's just doing fantastic, you know, over there, really the leader. And PSV could end up winning the whole thing, the league, no? So I think it will be even more phenomenal, the story, that in his first season, he's the top goal scorer, the top assist man, and the team wins the league.
I mean, that's just all recipe for him leaving. It's just it's gotta happen now. That's just the way the Eredivisie works. That's just the way this like the current like transfer market works. He's gonna be gone by the after the World Cup too, or maybe beforehand. You never know, but yeah, it just seems inevitable.
You know, for all the back on this game here, like Tigres certainly with a lot of possession, but they are just being completely stifled by Pumas here. Like they're not really getting much. There's not much connection, not much working in the early going here. So it's I don't know, Pumas pretty impressive showing thus far.
You gotta take advantage of the home field. You know, I think about playing in Seoul. The time frame is built for them. You know, they train at this hour every day. So I think they're used to it. And the team, look, it has deficiencies in the back, but when you have a midfielder like Marcelo Diaz and David Cabrera, who is kind of having his rebirth again, he's actually playing pretty good. I think you cannot discard Pumas from going into the Liguilla this season. Of course, it's still early on, but the signs that they're giving are pretty optimistic, especially when you have Nico Castillo as your striker.
I mean, yeah, 2 wins, 2 draws. You said it right there too. Marcelo Diaz is probably, I mean, he's got to be one of the more talented players in the league. He's probably the most talented player in this team at the very least. But having a player like that is just, I don't know, it's just so beneficial for this team.
Oh, way over the net for Gignac. Off target shot from Gignac. 10 seconds ahead, I know, but it's coming.
Now you're talking for the future over here.
Is there a player that more so than Castillo that if he was lost to injury that he would have a bigger impact on their team and on their prospects for the season? Like, is there another player out there on another team where if he was lost, it'd be a bigger deal than Castillo?
Ooh, that's a good question. Thank you. I would say, I mean, just the first name that comes to mind is probably Gustavo Bo for Xolos, just because like if he's not scoring, then I don't know. I don't know. You'll seldom find anyone else is going to be doing it. But I'm trying to think of other teams.
Well, for example, Pizarro and Chivas. Imagine if Pizarro gets injured in Chivas, like it's over for them, no?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it a little bit with Boselli being injured.
No,
Yeah,
también.
Boselli, yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's true.
I was on mute and I'm like, I muted myself and I'm like, Boselli, guys. Boselli? Hello? Oh, I'm on mute. Sorry.
What about Uribe? What about Uribe for America? Maybe.
Uribe for the national team.
So okay.
So I think right now the apparition of Henry Martin in America is driving everyone crazy in Mexico City. I mean, 3 goals last night.
5 goals total for the years already.
But let me say something about America. Yeah, let me say something about America. I think you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You know, the defeating Lobos by 5 goals. I think anyone can do it in the league right now. That's how bad Lobos is, and I'm sad to say it like that, but you know, it's a reality. 15 goals against or something around there. That 15, 16, somewhere around there. Conceded goals. So I mean, it's not good for Lobos. Heading, you know, when it comes to the relegation race. I read something last night. It was if Veracruz wins next weekend and Lobos loses, Lobos is at the bottom of the table, the relegation table. So I mean, it's just right there, right? It's gonna start shaping up.
Yeah, Lobos are gonna need like a good 10 points, 11 points probably the rest of the way. So that they're gonna have to start getting some results here. If they get the results, it's almost not going to matter what Veracruz does. But they're going to need those points. And, yeah, it's not looking good with the number of goals they're conceding.
Ooh, Aquino with a decent chance there.
He's just so active, you know?
Yeah.
We saw it with Mexico on Wednesday, too. Just he doesn't relent. He just keeps going and going. And that's why he's so valuable.
Look at that. Pumas long. What are you doing?
Nico was just trying to, I don't know if he was just trying to take a shot. I don't know if he was trying to go for a cross. I don't know if he was just a little tired. Nico thought he
was Gignac at that moment.
But it's crazy to think.
The crossing for Gallardo hasn't been that sharp today.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's not what you're looking for there.
Yeah.
I still like him a lot though as a player, Gallardo. I know a lot of people kind of question his role with the national team and think that Osorio, that he's just like another favorite of Osorio, doesn't deserve to be there. But I like him. I think that just because of how like audacious he is with his runs, like how brave he is with like with a lot of stuff he does. I think Mexico needs a player like that, someone who's willing to take a risk. I'm not saying he should be a starter, but I do like the idea of having him on the bench, you know, in case you really need to be doing some sort of like so creating some late opportunities.
I think he's going. I think he'll be in the 23.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it's almost a guarantee, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see this as a player that, you know, maybe in this World Cup, and I almost like maybe the one after, but maybe not. It could just be a one. Like it's for me as a player that, you know, he has all the speed in the world right now, and that's what makes him so effective. That once that kind of wears out a bit, I could see him not necessarily having all the potential in the world to be like a steady for Mexico for years and years to come. But right now, definitely a useful player.
Yeah.
Free kick for Tigres.
Everybody saying poor Jason.
Just look at
poor Jason. That's right.
Porto versus Liverpool is going to be lit.
It should be good. It should like definitely offensive with those two teams. It's gonna be fun.
Gonna be great. It's gonna be super fun to watch that one.
And not for me, but for like other people, it'll be fun.
It starts next week, no?
We gotta check that. Let me look here.
Ayala with its header that goes over the crossbar. I wonder what's the legality of Noel Guzman taking off his hat and say there's like a shot that he couldn't reach. What if he was to throw his hat at the ball and it deflects? It doesn't go into that. Is that legal?
I think so. I think it's part of his uniform. So, you know, as long as it's not attached to your arm, I suppose it's
I'm here asking important questions, guys.
yeah.
I thought there was some kind of rule that they gave Calero that he wasn't supposed to do it at certain types of competitions. I remember, like he did it at the Conca Champion, but he couldn't do it at the Libertadores or the Sudamericana or something. Rest in peace, Calero. Man, that was a loss.
Yeah.
What a great goalkeeper.
Do we think that both these teams are going to the playoffs? I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see it, if this is kind of like a playoff preview right here.
It's Liga MX, Cesar. Like you can't predict anything in this. Look at León. Look at the Tigres start. Mira Chivas winning the the title, and then horrible season. And now look what's happening. Everyone.
Oof.
It's pretty impressive for Pumas so far, though. I mean, they're undefeated so far. I didn't think that. I was thinking maybe it was going to be a draw here. Maybe Tigres are going to sneak away with a win. But I mean, the way they've been holding back Tigres is, pretty superb actually, and especially after that goal from Arribas too.
Yes.
It seems like it almost gave them extra energy. Like they've been actually a little more intense. It seems since that goal went in.
Holy moly, goal de Alustiza.
The Alustiza.
2-0 Pumas. Whoa. What a goal it was.
Dude, what a pass.
That pass.
Wow.
This is the thing about Pumas. They're playing with smoothness right now.
All you had to do is let it bounce, and it wasn't going to go in.
Has there ever been a ball that has gone that high in the air that went in the goal? Like, it was so high.
Who provided that pass? Was that?
I can't believe he was on.
Was it Herrera?
It had to have been like the right Barrera or
Ranking Barrera.
Or maybe Arribas? I don't know, or Diaz? Someone back there for the right-hand side.
I think it was Barrera.
I thought it was. Let's see, who is it?
Oh, I can't see from here.
One spot.
Oh, so close, Tigres defender. I think it was It was Barrera with the assist.
Look at that. It's up in the air, and then all you had to do was just.
Was that Ayala?
Ayala.
Dude, that was. Dude, he almost kicked him in the face.
Picked it up. Yeah, he just kicked the ball up there, and it went in.
Dude, shout out to Barrera for that pass, man.
Was it Barrera?
Yeah.
That is not an easy chip there. That's so far out.
They don't. Did they give him the goal? Isn't that an own goal?
It should be Alustiza's goal, no?
Yeah.
It's an own goal.
No, I think that's definitely Alustiza's goal.
No, if you don't change the direction of the ball, really, I don't think it counts as.
It wasn't going in. It was going down, and he put it forward.
I think that's still Alustiza's.
I'm calling FIFA right now.
we gotta see. I mean,
that's about the hat.
If I'm not mistaken, Tigres have taken shots off target, but on target.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so, right?
I think
this would have
been. Keep Tigres without a shot on target 45 minutes is not easy.
It's incredible. They're very well. Credit to Pumas because they are making life difficult, but Tigres are a little out of sorts in the attack right now. They're just not on the same page with each other. You could see it.
I totally told my friend to put money on Pumas because of the spread. I'm like, I don't think Tigres is going to be that dominating. This is good.
Dude, my favorite kind of Tigres to watch is a Tigres that's like chasing a lead. Because sometimes it can be so dull if they already have whenever Tigres get like a narrow lead or they're winning 2-0 or 3-0, I think that could be some of the most like boring Liga MX games to watch, just because they're so comfortable with their possession, with their patience. But when they're like throwing all their like incredible attacking names forward, I think it's a lot of fun to watch. So hopefully we'll get a good second half here too.
Yeah, four shots on target so far for Pumas, 1 shot on target for Tigres. These are stats according to Sofa's score.
And no Nico Castillo goal.
Yeah, no Nico Castillo goal right now. Almost. Right now. Nico Castillo actually got off the marking real quick. Came late for the ball though.
I see it. I see him.
Oh, close, close. Dude.
If he would have dropped that right, that could have been a goal.
I wait for the. Can't wait for the Cubo Torres goal in this game.
Oh, the cool
Kubo.
Torres.
That's right. Kubo's on the bench.
And when you're looking at how Pumas are playing right now, Kubo is a good player to have coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Because
I
he can keep the ball away from he secures the ball pretty well when he has to like drop it down and everything. So I think he's a good player to have on the bench.
I wonder what changes Tigres are going to make, because it seems like maybe they'll take out Sosa, maybe they'll take out Valencia just to mix things up in the attack. Maybe try bringing on, like we're talking about Vargas. Maybe they'll bring on Dam, but I feel like they got to bring someone on during halftime, right after halftime, just to mix up their attack.
I feel the Valencia experiment's not working.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It worked pretty well last season. I think it's just a matter of, you got to, like, with everything you say with this Tigres team, you have to, like, know that in some respect they are on cruise control because there's no, like, onus to win these matches. And this is so much more important for Pumas to come out with a result here than Tigres.
Well, we know they're not going to score there.
They're not going to want to just get trucked here by Pumas. So,
by the way, I'm eating a bagel.
What do you got in that bagel?
Just regular Philadelphia cream cheese. It's an everything bagel though.
Oh, nice.
So
Big time.
I like to
getting those bagels with that Patreon money there.
Thank you guys.
Bagel money.
So looking at the chat, HBK Forever 1231 says, shout out from Chicago. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. Thank you, HBK Forever 1231.
First time caller, first time listener. I don't know if Cesar or anyone else remembers that. I know Jason, you would know that.
All right, so who would have predicted that Pumas would be up 2-0 by the 40th minute?
Yeah.
I say nobody. Yeah. I got to tell you, this Alistisa signing has been pretty big for Pumas. Like we, on our show, we talked about at the beginning of the season, we were definitely all kind of crapping on Pumas and their acquisitions.
I was laughing about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's not like the most surprising thing that he would produce and be effective, but it certainly seemed to work out. He seems to play off Nico pretty well. It's a nice combination, the two of them up there.
No, when you look at the stats at the games between Tigres and Pumas since 2010, I mean, it's 12 wins for Tigres, 5 wins for Pumas, and 6 draws. So, I mean, there's been a dominance of Tigres over Pumas in the last 10 years. So, I mean, I think, or to be exact, last 8 years. And so I think today's victory, it helps a lot in the conference and in assuring that Pumas are for real this season, and I think that's actually good for Mexican football because we're always talking about, teams that need to sort of revitalize their essence and their history as one of the teams that is quote unquote one of the big four in Mexico.
But yeah, I just
Speaking of Alistisa, he just went down.
I just didn't think that Alistisa would be making this big of an impact.
Dude, Ayala elbows Alistisa in the neck, kicks him in the head, rolls over him.
Alistisa come flying in 2-footed there.
Yeah, that was a little strange to see that.
I feel like this should be called the Classico Tuca.
It looks like
it should be Classico Tuca, right?
Classico Tuca? I'm down.
Classico Tuca, this could be
Classico Tuca.
Jurgen Damm might be coming in.
Ah.
First half sub, that'd be incredible.
Oh,
Ooh, nice
Gallardo
ball.
with a nice little move, perfect spot. But we didn't score because Naive didn't count, didn't say it.
Yeah, now you would have said something.
Yeah, I would have said so. Yeah, I'm ahead, you know, so I
I'm
know
like,
when it's going in.
We're all like, this is good. Oh wait, Naive hasn't screamed out goal.
Dude, Naib's gonna mess with us now and be like, oh my god, what a golazo. And we're like, what happened? There's just gonna be nothing. It's just gonna be nothing.
Yep, there it is. Jurgen Damm coming in.
Whoa, in the first half.
Oh, and it looks an injury for Aquino, a muscular injury.
That's not good.
Oh,
Yeah, he
hey.
went into he slid into the cameras earlier. He came up a little limp, so it must have been that.
Right now, the shot that I was seeing here, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but he said that he felt like something popped, you know, like something came apart. So, I mean, that's not a good sign.
We don't have that closeness with this Canal de las Estrellas, bro. Like, you're able to see what he's saying.
Yeah, when he was coming off the field.
I mean, Naib's probably close enough where he can actually hear like the fans and like everything that's going on over
Yeah,
there.
You're just a train ride over, what, 15-minute train ride all the way down to South?
An Uber, I get there in 15 minutes, I think.
And then all you got to do is just walk up the steps on the because you don't really have to pay for a ticket. You can just walk up y ya estás arriba. What? Barrera once more looking for.
Yeah, so this is a 45-minute half, right? I don't think the ref is gonna give 1 extra minute or something.
I don't think so either.
Maybe one. The substitution.
1 minute. The substitution in the. Yeah, maybe 1 minute.
This injury that Aquino just got could potentially be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think.
Oh,
Well, as long as it's just
Dr.
something like-
Moran over here.
Is a type of injury that Giovanni tends to have a lot, you know, and which, you know, I think Giovanni, one of the things with Giovanni that I've seen in the last 2 years, I think, doesn't really release on the sprint anymore like he used to. He used to have one amazing sprint that he would go from one step to the other at 100 miles per hour. He doesn't do that anymore because when he does it, he tends to mess up the muscle, you know, and the sprint, you know. But I don't know. Hopefully, if he wants to go to the World Cup, you got to start doing them again.
Yeah, well, we'll see what kind of shape he's in. I mean, because it makes sense. He was in the off season for the Galaxy, but just like during that Mexico match, he just looked like he got way too tired, way too early.
I think that Osorio is going to take him anyways, even if he's got a mediocre Galaxy season. And the reason for being is that he can give you, and even though we haven't seen it in a while, I feel like Osorio is just like, I know what the talent that you have, man. And he does in those World Cups, in those huge games. You know, you're going to see Dos Santos kind of step up, and I think that's what he's banking on, and you're going to take him just for that. And you can't take, if you're going to take one Dos Santos brother, you have to take the other. I think that's a contract.
Wait, which one? The older? Are we talking about Eder Dos Santos, the guy who's not playing anymore?
Eder Dos Santos. I'm not kidding. Like, even if Giovanni is not in his shape, he's going if his brother's going. I honestly believe that some kind of like weird dad. You know, he signed a contract with the FMF, and his dad's like, "Sorry, that's how it's gonna have to be."
Nahuel and Nico Castillo are trying to get on a fight right now. That is, and that was kind of strange.
That's unnecessary.
Oh, Nahuel's gonna Nahuel, man.
But what did Nico do?
Why did he go to Nico?
Grab his head.
Nico did something before the play, and then
what's the point of doing that? Like that should have been don't touch my post. Don't touch my post.
It wasn't because of the post.
Wait, let's see.
Oh, maybe it was because of the post.
This is so strange.
What is going on? Wait, so he grabs his head and then he lifts his hands as if he's done nothing.
It was because of the post. You can't touch the post. This is my post.
Yeah, it's my post. Don't touch the post.
I think just diving into the head in a well is just dangerous territory. I think we should just stay out, not try to guess attention.
Arribas with a good chance right now, but couldn't put it in.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
Yeah, that was.
It was a push, I think.
3-0 going into halftime. Imagine that. Oh my God, Pumas fans would be in heaven.
Right there.
And Alustiza right again participating in the play with the pass.
Look at that push and that elbow. Watch the push in the elbow. Ready? Push, elbow. Everyone went flying.
Halftime.
All right, what a hat for Pumas, man. What
Hey,
a
this is a
hat.
good question from Bill Men on the chat here. It says, do you guys think Uribe we left out of the World Cup with rumor that Osorio will only take 2 strikers?
I don't think he'll be left out.
It's a tricky situation, that one. I mean, I mean, it's a developmental. It's a story that it's developing with the months, you know. But I think his leadership will be important. But I do see that possibility of him just taking Chicharito and Jimenez to the World Cup, and then trying to get at least maybe more central midfielders that could potentially be, you know, a Jesus Molina type of player into the squad. But I mean, it's just strange over here. You know, 5 goals for Henry Martin, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, if he scores 15 goals, then I think he could potentially win a place."
I mean, yeah, I think it's. I wonder why he felt like he had to say that there are only potentially 2 strikers that he's going to bring in. So like Naive said, like, who's that other guy he's going to bring in? Would people be angry if Oribe didn't go, but then someone like Victor Guzman sneaks in? Would people be angry if Oribe didn't go and someone like Pizarro sneaks in? I think I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen, but I'm more intrigued to figure out if Oribe isn't going, then yeah, who is that guy in the midfield? Because it does look like it's someone potentially in the midfield, because you got a lot of talent there. Mexico's got a lot of options there in the midfield. So I do wonder who that guy would be, who'd be stepping in his position. Or I should say,
Oribe's going to go.
But also keep in mind, we saw Jason Cesares in the last Europe tour. You know, he started Chicharito against Belgium, and then he started Raul Jimenez against Poland. You know, and Peralta didn't start in any of those games. So it means that he has Raúl and Chicharito on a different kind of level than Peralta, because of what those two offer. I mean, I think the age might perhaps hinder Peralta's chances, I'd say, because like Cesar just said, if Guzman or Pizarro can go in instead of Peralta, I think it would look like a wise decision, especially when you try to look at this process and see, well, how many of the players that go to this World Cup are going to go to the next one, you know? So, but I think it's still it's a debatable topic, you know, and you can say that he's in or he's not in.
I would say it'd be interesting if we're looking at maybe Pizarro and not taking Gio's place, but taking Peralta's place. I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I don't think that's ultimately a good decision, personally. I would take Pizarro over Gio personally, but and also take Uribe as just an insurance. I mean, you just want another player who can do the things that he does.
There's nobody else that can play who is back to the goal as well as Uribe. Chicharito can't do it as much.
Raul could do it, but yeah.
I just think that
Jimenez can do it, but I just feel like his leadership that he brings in in the last World Cup, and to only have 2 real true strikers only, one of them gets injured, and who else do you have? I mean, you can't, as much as you want Chucky up there or Vela, or they can't play that 9 role, you know, that Peralta and Jimenez can do. So 3 strikers, and you should be taking 3 at the minimum. And in that sense, I feel that there's so much midfield already with Pizarro, Fabian, Gio.
I mean, that's another player who we haven't even who might be able to sneak in too, just because he hasn't been in the roster because of injury problems. But is there room for Fabian in there?
Yeah.
What's his health? Is he going to be healthy enough at that point? And if he is healthy enough, then whose spot is he taking in the roster?
So I got a good chance to be with Fabian last year, doing some stuff with him, and I was able to talk to his agents or on Wednesday. Just kind of like, hey, how's Fabian doing? And he's the one that kind of told me, yep, he's already practicing 100%. We should see him pretty soon. They told him that it was actually last week that he was going to start. That he was going to start playing. One of the things he said that was kind of cool is that I'm like, you know, I just asked him, have you had any contact with Osorio? And he said, yeah. Osorio's already making the rounds to see how they're doing in for the summer. You know, this is what I want you to do, and kind of give him specific. You need to play. You need to do this, and we're ready. You know, for the summer tournament. And I honestly believe in Fabian. If he keeps playing, and he's doing all right without any injuries, he'll definitely be there too. So you have even that too. Which another thing that we didn't mention at the earlier Mexicans abroad, right? Fabian also getting right. I think today in the 60th minute was able to get in and really follow up how he did, but I still see him. So I see we have a lot of midfield because of those players that Chucky type of player that they could be, down the wing, up front, score goals, and be in the midfield. It's gonna be tough for that midfield.
No, and then the Vela situation will also be interesting to follow because I don't know where Bob Bradley's gonna put him in LAFC, if he's gonna be kind of like a striker type of player, if he's gonna be more on the wings, on the right or on the left. But Vela can play as a number 9. I mean, I think or a false 9, quote unquote, like how he tried with Pizarro against Bosnia on Wednesday. So I think if you can put that into consideration, it does make sense that only Chicharito and Raul will be called up, and he's going to rely on a player like Vela to take that role of a quote-unquote false 9, alongside with the possibility of adding someone like Pizarro as well into the mix. But on Fabian's case, I think Fabian is in the World Cup. Hopefully he's back into the form that he was last season because it was impeccable. But I think he still got good months. I mean, we're barely in February. Consider March, April. I think he should be in top form heading into the World Cup.
From Kevin Prince Boateng.
And what's funny is though, talking to him, I told him he had a great last season. He had a golazo, and one of the things he said, he's like, I wasn't 100%. I've had this during the Confederations, that game that he scored a golazo. He said he was like at 75%. His back was hurting so bad, and he knew that he needed to end the summer so he can get that back surgery. So just imagine, at the level that I think Fabian could be at, and that's what we saw him when he dropped off, and he had these horrible weeks of pain, and then now with his new surgery, hopefully everything's okay, and we could see, Fabian even in a better rhythm.
Hopefully, back surgeries, man, it's scary business for you've seen it in a lot of other sports too. You just don't totally know what condition and form they're going to come back into. Hopefully, we get the best of Fabian because I'm
trying to think of a footballer who had a back surgery. Jason, do you remember of a footballer?
Nothing's coming to mind. No.
I know JJ Watt, but that's another footballer.
I'm thinking of NFL too. I'm like, back surgery.
NFL is normal that, and but I don't know in soccer, like if a back injury, surgery type of deal.
Neymar.
Oh, Neymar in the World Cup. Yeah,
Neymar got.
Oh, that's right. There you go. Okay, well, that worked out pretty well.
So if he could come back like Neymar, we're good.
Easy. Done. Boom. All right. Should we take this back to Pumas Tigres? What we thought about the first half?
Surprising. It was almost like uneventful for the first 15 minutes, and then Pumas just kind of tried a little bit, like even just brought the ball up, and Tigres just kind of they're jumping over a line in those passes, right? On that second goal. Mm-hmm. And you actually in the first goal too, it looks like the 5 Tigres players just go to one player, and then all of a sudden, it's looking just a total dominance on that defense over Tigres, but definitely a surprising 2-0. Who would have thought? And this is what you wanted, Cesar. Now you have Tuca in the locker room screaming right now, and they're gonna come back fired up and see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-2 at the end, even. And we'll see.
I keep thinking about what Jason said in the first half, that after Arribas got his goal for Pumas, so they were just kind of reinvigorated by that. They just looked a little bit more energetic. They looked a little bit even better defensively too. And then thanks to that pass from Barrera, who sent in the corner for the Arribas goal too, so he has 2 assists. But man, that pass from him for that second goal is incredible, man. It was just incredible. I mean, I would say that it was even more impressive than the Alostisa shot. I don't know. It was just pretty crazy to see that.
What are the odds of Barrera still being an impactful player at this point? It just seems like it's incredible. I mean, he's 30 now? I mean, it just seems like he should be a lot older by mind, but just because he's just been on our radar for so long now. But it's incredible that he's still being just a strong player in Liga MX at this point. It's good for him,
Yeah, an Alostisa goal and assist from Barrera like that. I'm not sure which year that could be. I mean, that could be a few years back as well. It could be
It's 2011, man.
Let's see. We got a question from Soccer Nerd saying, "Can we, as a country, buy Pizarro and give him to some? So maybe Osorio will take him to the World Cup instead of Gio." Put on your tinfoil hats, guys. I mean, I think that I wouldn't be that surprised if Gio and Pizarro find a way in. But I don't know. I think that Pizarro had a good showing too earlier this week for Mexico. I mean,
Yes.
it was a small amount of time. It was just such a small amount of time, and I'm sure that the Bosnian defense was pretty tired at that point. But as a false nine, I thought Pizarro did pretty well. He impressed me. He stood. I think he was well aware too that he had to take advantage of that opportunity. I think a lot of players had realized too that they had to take advantage of that opportunity in that game for Mexico, because potentially their last final tryout ahead of the World Cup. But I thought Pizarro did well, and I'd be interested to see, or at least to hear, like how he did during training during that camp. Just because, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be that surprised if he sneaks in, and I don't think that Mexico has to buy him and give him to some, so therefore Osorio will take him to the World Cup.
All right, hold on. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
So I'm eating takis, right?
Yeah, you're eating tacos, yeah.
Check this out.
That's a chip, yo.
What?
Exactly.
What?
What is up with Taki, man?
Take a picture and send him a tweet.
I am. I'm like, what is this?
All
I don't
the
know how
appearance,
to,
man. Falling apart.
I don't know how to eat this. Dude, this is weird. Check out this one. Dude, this is, something's up with whoever manufactures. This is like a huge Taki, bro.
You got a bad batch, man.
There's some good ones right here. Anyway, what do you guys usually snack on when you're watching Liga MX?
Right now, I'm eating a Kind Plus cranberry almond with macadamia nuts granola bar.
Wow.
Not do the taki.
Taki just came in out of nowhere. I would like to see the story of. I don't remember Takis when I was little, bro. Anyways, I don't want to eat this. I feel like I'm gonna save it.
Yeah, put that one aside.
Wait a second. Since it's halftime and the game is going on right now, I want to figure out what you guys are doing for the Super Bowl. We'll start with Naib. Naib, what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
I'll try to watch it. You know, I'll see if I have time to watch at least some bits of it. You know, I got a lot of friends in Philly, so they're going all crazy, and you know, try to celebrate with them from a distance. So hopefully they can make the surprise and, you know, beat the Patriots. But you know that seems kind of an impossible feat because of Tom Brady being the MVP right now. But you know, I'll see if I have some time at least. You know, I want to watch the halftime show and do Justin Timberlake, and then watch the end of the match. Hopefully, it's an exciting one.
Got to send out those tweets. And then everyone will. You got to think of something clever for. Start thinking of that like right now. Some sort of clever tweet. Perfectly send it out during halftime, and then you'll get a bajillion retweets because everyone's gonna be watching this.
I've already had it.
Oh, what are you gonna do, Wiso?
I already said it a while back in. What is
that
it?
way I can steal the idea and then send out the tweet 5 minutes before you.
Yeah.
Patriots are gonna win, and American football is a game of 22 players, and the Patriots always win.
I don't think. No, I'm not gonna steal that one. You can keep it.
You keep that
Anyways,
one.
I posted that like the other day after the. Whoa, what's happening? There we go. And I said that, and then people are like, "Oh, quit stealing this guy's too." I'm like, I think everybody thought that. So
Yeah, everybody. It was like a universal thought, basically.
yeah, it really was, and then I looked at it. There's like 90 people that tweeted the same thing. I'm like,
real quick, 2 assists for Barrera in the game. So we're talking about Barrera, but he already has 2 assists, 3 key passes in this match. Barrera.
Dang.
Barrera to the national team, yo.
Crazy. Costa?
It's like 2011 all over.
Vargas, huh?
Makes sense. All right.
Next weekend, Tigres host America.
Ooh, that'll be a good
I
one.
feel like we're gonna be doing a lot of Tigres Liga MX and chills. Just throw it out there.
Tonight for the game, I'm going to after the Eagles win, I'm going to head down into town and bust up a few cars, steal some coal, probably kick over a few trees.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Just general things you do after the win. So,
Wait,
I'm looking forward to it.
you're a Patriots fan?
No. Eagles.
Oh,
Let's go, Eagles.
the Eagles aren't gonna win.
What's it? Remember that's the season when the Patriots were undefeated and then they played the Giants.
Yeah,
And how the Giants, beat them in that game.
it's not a good.
Actually, I was
game
choosing
for
for the
Patriots
Giants that game.
so.
I can't have Philly win, and I'll tell you this is like you just not because I think they deserve it. Because if Philly wins, Phoenix, which is the city where I'm at, will be the worst sports city in all of the United States.
You still have
No,
Minneapolis, man.
no. Minneapolis doesn't have like 4 of the major sports. I'm thinking like big cities like Philly, New York, LA, Houston. So, no, man, I can't. I think after Cleveland won, I'm like, geez, we don't have any other sports team that win.
Edu Vargas
Professional.
coming in for Ener Valencia, I think.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's what I was thinking when I saw that lineup in the beginning. I'm like, why isn't Vargas there? And okay, but I'll give Valencia for 1/2. I don't know.
Let's see the substitution, who it was. I don't know if it was Ener. Was it Ener?
I mean, it makes sense if it was Enter Valencia because it's not unless
Who's on
they
the
bring
left?
up Sosa.
Who's on the left on the corner?
I think he's still there.
Yeah, Valencia's there.
Okay.
But he's got 3. You went more of the 4-2-3 now, right?
Unless if you take a chance and take off like Carioca or Duenas, but I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, what I got here is Sosa and Mesa are out, and Vargas and Acosta are in.
Okay.
Oh, Costa. Interesting.
So,
So Tigres doesn't have any subs anymore. No, they already used the 3 because of Aquino's injury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep. So
Wow.
doing two subs in halftime with no subs.
Oh, and
Someone gets injured.
right away. Oh, Saldívar with a great save.
Ooh.
You'll see it right now.
Oh, good stuff from Zalivar.
That was San Memo right there. I mean, San Osvaldo.
I think Saldívar in the last game against Lobos WAP over there in Puebla, he made 8 saves. Saldívar.
He made 8. That's not bad.
Well, Tom's awake.
Is he going to join us?
Okay.
Is he going to join us in the
Is
Liga
he-
MX and chill?
I don't know.
Did we even invite him? Do we want him here? I don't know. He's kind of a weirdo.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You notice he doesn't say good stuff anymore.
Yeah, I
right?
think
So,
I think we harassed him a little bit too much with the good stuff thing.
Valencia on the left, and right away, Edu Vargas is the one that took the shot. So Edu Vargas it took him 30 seconds to be influential in the game right away.
I'm surprised that shot didn't break Saldivar's arm like that. It's just
I mean, it could be broken. He's just dealing with it.
menacing, that shot from Vargas.
Oh, shoot. No,
Naive gets so like nervous when he goes, "Oh, we're like, it's a throw in, Naive. What the heck?"
Yeah, that's a big time foul. Geniac.
But this is a different Tigres now. Different Tigres.
Yeah, they've come out. They've woken up for sure.
This is the Tigres after first half Stuka in the locker room. I mean, it's like if you don't score, I'm gonna kill your family. Like just go crazy. Shout out to Luis Valens 528 on Twitter, who said, "I'm drinking coffee, chilling, watching Liga MX, listening to English broadcasts. Life is good. This is great. Thanks, guys."
Oh, thank you,
Shout out
good
to you
sir.
too, man.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm also drinking coffee, and it's delicious. In case anyone's wondering that, that's important to tell you, right?
I was actually wondering. That was actually.
I
Okay,
want
good.
the best.
I mean, I
I
had a
was
list.
here to entertain Cesar, so I'm getting that done.
I mean, I have a list of.
I'm drinking oranges and Takis, man. My stomach is
Oh, dude,
loving it.
you're gonna have to leave us in like a few minutes. To just
Dude. It's my mix. Takis and orange juice. I feel like it just goes together. It was actually because of the bagel, and then I kept being hungry, and I didn't want to do anything, so I grabbed the takis that was there. My mom would be so proud. She'd be saying, "Nada más para la lombriz." All right.
All right, so we already had one decent opportunity for Tigres. They got a good counter.
Acosta's Meg. Here
No,
comes
different Tigres this one. I mean, it looks more offensive, more.
They have to be. You know, they
It's
really
just the quality, no? The quality starts to shine at one point, and right now the quality's shining.
There's a player, Jurgen Damm. I don't think he makes.
It just seems like Osorio was going to bring Dom no matter what. And I really wish he wouldn't at this point. But it doesn't seem like it's ever.
Nahuel doing it, Nahuel. Let's see if Alustiza can take charge of it. Oh, missed it. Alustiza missed the white, but Nahuel made a Nahuel.
Oh, you're hacking him.
It was a hat.
His superpowers are gone. Oh, yeah. Does he have a backup hat? What are you going to do? Nahuel, what are you going to do, man?
Is the hat still on the ground over there?
Yeah.
I think that's the hat's fault, you know. The
Let
that
me see.
was so bad, like no precision whatsoever.
Oh my God,
Dude,
Nahuel.
nobody. It looked like there was like a sniper.
Dude, his hat was like so embarrassed about that moment. He's like, you know what? I'm just leaving, man. That was awful. I'm peace, man. Dude, I'm out.
Somebody needs to like do a video where where like that sniper like shoots off people, and then his hat comes off.
Start the Noel's hat Twitter account there too.
Noel's hat.
Noel's hat.
That actually be fun.
That was such a strange moment from him. But I guess that's, I mean, Nahuel.
Bad pass from Jurgen Damm alert. Bad pass from Jurgen Damm alert.
All right, yeah, you got a good opportunity there. Oh, yeah.
Not so good.
Yeah.
I mean that's where it just, you think about it, is you gotta make a stronger decision there. You don't have no marking. You can raise your head and put a good pass into the box. And he just gets confused on what to do. Do I shoot? Do I pass? And I think that's been the biggest problem with this game forever, no?
For a long time, just that decision making. It's been for quite a while. It's that decision making, especially that close to net too. He's had his moments where he'll get an assist or whatnot, but I think that's just been such a big part of his game, which he really needs to improve.
Seems like he always just puts the ball in a space rather than actually looking as to where his players are, where his teammates are, where he should put the ball based on what's actually happening. It's just always the ball into space.
Yeah.
But he's getting a lot of touches on the ball right now, so I think it's going to be very important for Tigres. Something has to come out from there. I don't know if they see more Luis Fuentes as a weak link, I guess, in the defense, but they're charging a lot of attacks on that side. Oh, another bad miss here by Tigres.
I mean, they got to capitalize on these chances.
Yeah, this one is a strange one. That one's coming up.
Ooh,
who was that?
That was Edu Vargas.
Was that Edu? Yeah, it looked like it. Yikes, Edu. I mean, they'll get more chances. I mean, that's for sure. I mean,
all right, I tweeted my picture of Takis.
Just because
please give a retweet.
What was that?
I want Takis to explain. I tweeted my Takis picture, so can everybody please go on, retweet it, comment it.
You should use hashtag Liga MX English. Maybe then it'll get more attention. Hashtag Liga
but then whatever, but then like Takis will be like, what the heck is that? We're not retweeting or nothing, anything.
But I think Pumas also, I see that they kind of slowed the tempo and they given the initiative to Tigres, and I think that's a totally opposite thing to do against a team like Tigres. You don't give the initiative to Tigres because Tigres at one point they're gonna capitalize. I think Pumas kind of thinking about the counter here or something, but you just can't just hand the initiative to Tigres. I mean, it's because they're gonna get back at you.
They've already had a few chances too, and if were it not for Dam for his bad pass or Edu with his bad finishing, I mean, they could have
Saldívar safe as well.
Or Saldívar pass. They could have already had a goal here.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough as being up 2-0 could be for Pumas. It is tough to figure out exactly what to do at this point because, I mean, you have to be careful. And what worked so well for them was like giving up possession in the first half and setting that ball over the top and capitalizing. And they almost did it with Noel there again. So, you know, there is something to be said for continuing on, but yeah, they need to get a little more pressure on the ball than they're currently doing.
Yeah.
It's a little too far back for me.
Yeah. Don't park the bus just yet.
Oh,
Gignac with the
Gignac.
nice cross there.
Gignac versus Menez next weekend, probably, no? So I think
That'll be a good one.
I think it's the first time the two Frenchmen face off in Liga MX.
Gignac sent him I think he sent him a tweet too after he scored a goal last night.
there's only one room for one French in this league. I am the Francesito.
It's great. The Tigres have already made all their subs. Of course, obviously the first one was a forced sub, but just
injured. It's
yeah.
over.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a goal. I would say within the next 5 to 10 minutes, just because of the way that they've been pressuring.
Nahuel gets injured, and who comes on goal? I want to see that.
There's been a lot of red cards this weekend, no? So if I was like making the count, it's like 6 or 7 red cards this weekend, I think.
Was it really 6 or 7? I gotta look at that. That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, there was one in Puebla Chivas, 2 in the Cruz Azul Atlas, 1 in the Veracruz Querétaro, 1 in the León Monterrey, 1 in the Pachuca Morelia, and 1 yesterday in the Lobos America. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 red cards.
Liga MX officials love the red card. Love it.
Still room for another one in this game too.
Yeah, that kind of tackle there. We might be seeing it.
Oh, someone dropped for Pumas on the field and right away asked for a substitution. I think it's Alustiza. Alustiza on the ground.
Kubo time? Are you
Yep.
gonna go 2 strikers? Uh-oh.
Yeah, man, but it's unfortunate with Alustiza, eh?
I don't think it's going to be Kubo coming in and being defensive right now.
I guess it's probably like Formica. They're probably gonna bring in Formica or something.
Over here in Mexico, they're still talking about Nahuel's hat. Yo,
There it is. It is the same feed.
Yeah.
There's the hat.
I wonder if the hat's still there. Did
and it
someone
looks
take
like when Alustiza misses, he kicks the hat. When Alustiza makes the miss, he kicks the hat.
Let's see.
Oh, finger!
Oh, poor hat.
It was the hat that messed him up. I knew it.
Dude, that's the highlight of the game right there.
And that he doesn't have the hat on anymore. He didn't go put on the hat.
I think it's a cramp that Alustiza has, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks that way.
It was the curse of the hat.
Yeah, he kicked it with that leg. The leg that he has a cramp. It was the one that he used to kick that.
Maybe he like got that cramp after like kicking the hat.
Kicking the hat. That's it.
Go mess with the hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just got confirmation that he got the cramp because he kicked the hat. Let's just make that up.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's see who substituted in for him. And it's still not seeing anyone.
So who's coming in?
He's not coming in. Let's see.
Nobody yet.
It looks like Formica.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It would be fun if it was Google, but I guess Google is more of an out-and-out striker. Formica is more of a attack-minded midfielder. So that makes sense.
Guys, quit trying to make cool happen.
Formica started the season, no, and then I think Barrera progressively took the starting role.
Yeah, because Formica was like because he played in that same kind of role, like on a like the right wing.
Did you ever see Barrera coming back to the national team?
No,
No,
no, not at all.
not even a little bit.
And the positions that he's trying to fight for too, just
Yeah,
Mexico's just so much talent.
Yeah.
Like if Elias Hernandez is having a hard time, like really trying to get like
Yeah,
minutes
you're
for the national team, then like Barrera is like, I don't know, just like 3 or 4 spots behind him. All right, do we think this is going to end 2-0? I think I wouldn't be surprised if Tigres get a goal here.
Yeah, Tigres, based on what we've seen, have to get a goal. I think they're creating chances. You know, when you got Vargas, Gignac, and Valencia on the field, I mean, one ball goes in. They might get.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're off kind of. It's not like they're having their best day as well. So it is looking in Pumas' favor right now.
Look at that Gallardo. I mean,
Nico still hasn't gotten his goal either.
That's
You know,
true.
he
That's
could
true.
push forward. Wouldn't be surprised to see number 3.
Oh.
again, we know they're not going to score.
Or maybe Gallardo too. I mean, Gallardo, like he gets the occasional shot too for Pumas, so maybe he'll get the third one as well.
What do you third before Tigres gets a first?
I say yes.
I say this game ends 3-1. Pumas win.
Okay, Dam takes off an open space on the right flank. It's gonna be a 4 against 3 right now for Tigres.
I'm gonna go 2-1.
And he makes a bad decision again. Dam, instead of passing the ball, he goes to the end of the line and doesn't give a pass or anything. Like, what's going on with you, boy?
That's bad.
Dude, how many times have you seen that exact thing from Dam? Like that exact
Honestly,
thing right there.
Dom was trying
It must be frustrating for Tigres fans, especially in a game like this one where they're clearly getting their chances. It's just that they're falling at the wrong target. I mean, the ball shouldn't be on Dam's feet right now.
It looks like Dom took it, and what he tried to do is everybody's thinking he's gonna pass it, and he tried to get one just not stride up on the defender and try to shoot, but then the defender was like, no, not having it. You're not as fast as we said you are. You were them.
He's not really ingratiating himself to his teammates there after they make an 80-yard sprint and he just keeps it and dribbles it out. It's not really the way to get on your good side of Gignac and Vargas running on the other side.
Oh, Nico, is that no penalty? But it looks like an iffy call in the box. It could have been a penalty for Pumas there.
Oh, I want to see the replay on that. I mean, he clearly flopped, but maybe there was contact there.
It looks like it was almost a handball.
But now Tigres has the ball in the. No. It's all Pumas right now. Pumas has the ball again. But I don't know about that penalty goal. It looks like a penalty
goal. It's out there. Well, I'd like to see that replay.
Yeah, likewise. I want to see the replay on that too.
Let's see if it's coming.
Oh, you got to be seeing it soon. Oh, but look. Ooh,
yellow card.
It's got a yellow.
Yellow card for Chelo Diaz. Let's see here the replay. I think he flops. It could have been a yellow for Nico Castillo, actually.
Oh, interesting. All right, yeah, we're getting it right here too.
Oh no, wait.
Was it a handball?
I mean, I think there is contact. There is contact.
Yeah.
But when he wasn't with the ball, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a penalty call.
All that.
Yeah.
He obstructed his foot when he's about to hit it.
Yeah.
No,
okay. That's a PK.
Oh man, yeah. That was
the bar, man. We need the bar in Mexico.
Ooh, I can't wait to have all those arguments that everyone's having abroad. Like listening to like other podcasts or like I don't know about like the EPL and other leagues and whatnot. It's just like half the conversation now is just about VAR. Which is funny because you would think it was supposed to like clear things up and make things more easy, but now it just seems to like muddle
Yeah,
it all up even more. So
We're gonna be
when do you
happy.
use it? When don't you use it?
yeah, exactly.
And a lot of these things. I mean, even that. I mean, you look at a replay of that. You could still. Some people still say yes. Some people still say no.
Yeah,
Just-
exactly.
It was a penalty.
But yeah, it was a penalty.
Yesterday, I mean, Diego Alonso talked about the bar for like 5 minutes. Also, I think Siboldi from Santos talked about the bar after the Cholos game because, like, I mean, I didn't see the game, Cesar, but you say it was a goal, the one that Santos scored.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like that was a big talking point because it looked like Lahoud got the ball, but it looked like when he grabbed the ball, it had already crossed the line. I mean, it's pretty close, but you can see why people want to have that conversation. And also, I think with Alonso, I think he was talking about it because it didn't look like the penalty that was given against them was actually a penalty, at least from what I saw.
Yeah.
But it is. I think it's going to continue to be a talking point.
Because we had the bar at the Confederations Cup. Remember how annoying it was?
Oh, yeah.
It's like it actually saved our butts. What was it against
Portugal, the first game, right? The first Portugal.
We're like, oh, they scored. No, they didn't, suckers. I think New Zealand. I think there was one against not New Zealand. Was it New Zealand? Forgetting. Sorry.
I know, but for like Liga MX, at the very least, let's get in some goal line technology. I'm down with that. Maybe VAR, we could try that another time, but just like at the very least, let's get some goal line technology.
That's pretty easy.
Are there many goal line in Liga MX? I don't remember any. Like recently?
Here comes Nico Castillo's replay again. I mean, he sticks his foot out Ayala.
He gets him right there.
Gets him. Yeah, because if he wouldn't got him there, it could have been I think he could have connected with the ball.
I actually thought that Nico, it was a handball. He controlled it when he gets that pass, and that's why who's the other Tigres player is kind of arguing that he stopped it with his hands.
That was clearly a penalty to me though. After watching it a few times,
yeah.
But it says so much about the difficulty of just like a ref's position where we had to watch the replay like 4 times. We recognize after a few times, like, all right, that was definitely a penalty. But it's so difficult in a ref's position at the angle that they're at and like the speed of which everything is happening to assume that they're immediately going to get it. But
yeah, but okay, I know people like to bring up the NFL, but right there, the coach takes a little flag and goes, "I want to challenge."
No.
I think Jason's down.
You
for
get
this.
one challenge. You get one challenge per half, and the people in the break, and people in the go to the video, and if it's a penalty, only on penalty calls, only inside the box that it's iffy, and you're gonna get it. That's it, and there we go. It was given to him, and we got one challenge per game.
And if the challenge doesn't work, what do you give? Like a yellow card?
A yellow card or a substitution.
Take a substitution law.
10-yard penalty.
Card.
Restart first down. That's what you do.
Yellow card. Guys, it can work.
Oh, Nico had a shot, but he was offsides.
Challenge it.
You get that pass soon.
Oh, that was a good.
Formica.
It's all right.
Formica played in Cruz Azul, right, Jason?
Oh, he sure did. Quite horrible. He's a player. I can't even understand why he's playing with Pumas. I never did understand why they signed him. I mean, he's done fairly well with Pumas here, but I mean his tenure with Cruz Azul was not a pleasant one for a Cruz Azul fan.
How long was he there for again?
I think just one calendar year, like 2 seasons.
Okay.
Did not go well.
It's looking right now like Montoya might turn like another Formica case. I mean, he's trying though. He's trying. I think he had a decent game against Atlas. I mean, somewhat decent.
It was okay. It was better than
It was better than Gullit, for example.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Gullit. I just feel bad for Gullit at this point. I just feel bad for the guy.
There was a tackle in the box right there with Pumas and Gignac, but no call.
He needs to go back to Luis Montes. That's what he needs to go back.
He needs his Montes.
I mean, they've got that school together in Leon, right? They've got some soccer school that they both own or something.
Can we work out like a trade or something maybe?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you Donovan.
Okay. Deal.
Donovan in Mexico City at the Cruz Azul. Perfect. Yeah, it would have been better if he was in Cruz Azul. That would have been a better story.
Works for me.
Dude,
Let's do it.
he should have been with Tijuana. He lives in San Diego. I wonder if there's like people in the Cholos organization who are just like frustrated right now.
No, they're not frustrated. They're happy.
it's just like for the marketing of the team. I don't know. I think that was a opportunity missed by them.
That's true.
And he could have
do it.
He could have still commuted from home. He could have taken. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a little something that they missed out on.
Yeah, so far the possession in the second half is 73% for Tigres, 27% for Pumas. In the first half, it was 47% for Pumas, 53% for Tigres. So, I mean, it kind of tells you a little bit how the game's been going in the second half.
And more importantly, someone has updated us on Twitter, at Alan Velasco, is saying, update, hat is gone. Yeah. Don't see the hat from Noel anymore.
Wait, what's happening with the hat? Sorry, I cut off. Oh, hat is gone. Okay. Yeah.
All right, maybe this is going to end 2-0. I thought maybe we were going to see I was convinced we were going to see another goal from Tigres.
Right now, the situation with Tigres is interesting because Celarrayan is not on the bench. I don't know if Celarrayan is injured or whatnot, but Celarrayan would be a way better option than Dam, for example, right now.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
I mean, I think Dam has been, he's had a couple of good opportunities to be a game changer for them, to provide a good assist, provide a good opportunity. He's failed in both of them. So I think you got to, not saying that all of this obviously is his fault, but, he's had a role not helping Tigres get at least a goal here.
You go Valencia. Let's see Valencia. Valencia playing on the left today. I mean, it's been a while. Well, I haven't seen him that much playing on the flank, on the left flank.
Yeah, this isn't looking looking that good for Tigres right now. I mean, you gotta hope that Pumas' defense kind of lets up a little bit, but Pumas' defense has been excellent so far today. Ooh, that was a good tackle there, I think, from Arribas.
Yeah.
Wasn't Celarrayan rumored to go in Brazil?
There is a strong rumor that one. I think it might actually be confirmed in the next days.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening, because that's why he's not there, and it looks like he was already traveling. I don't know. We'll see.
Brazilian Santos?
Yeah, Brazilian Santos.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, some of the talent that they have on that Tigres bench could be starters in any other Liga MX team. So it's difficult that to hold on to these guys, because you have to convince them to be backups despite their talents.
Pumas has an open one, but a bad pass there by, I think it was Gallardo with the bad pass, bad decision making there by Gallardo.
Oh man!
Oh, Gallardo! Oh.
It was Damesk type of bad.
I think Jürgen Damm lost the ball first from Tigres too.
Yeah. Jürgen Damm doesn't get the ball away 10 feet away from him when he is a pass. It's an attempt to pass.
That was a great chance for Pumas. That could have closed out the game.
That should have been number 3.
Yeah,
definitely. Here we are praising Gallardo when he does all that.
That's pretty fun. I just keep thinking about what Wisu was saying about the fans asking him, "Are we gonna win the World Cup?" Be like, "Oh."
I did ask him. What would you want to do if you were a player? He said graphic design. I guess he does a lot of graphic design on the side too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Did not know that about Jesus Gallardo.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. And then what shocked me the most? Somebody goes, "Who's your idol?" Like that. It wasn't like soccer, whatever. And he answered Carlos Vela.
Carlos Vela is his idol.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both kind of wingers. That makes sense.
Oh, if you think about it, I mean, the age. How old is Gallardo? What? I mean,
He's
20,
early
23,
20.
23.
Yeah,
So,
early
I mean,
20s.
maybe, maybe seeing Carlos Vela, 2007, this, Gallardo's what, 11, 12 years old, and what Carlos Vela was in 2005, 2007,
Yeah.
So you could see it. Maybe they're both in the same position almost.
But when
Anyways,
he
it was interesting to say that they played in the same game. I mean, he's in the locker room and he's like, "Who's your idol? That guy over there, Carlos Vela." That's awesome.
I mean, I guess that yeah, because when he was a kid, that's like probably when like Vela was making his move to Arsenal too. So that makes sense.
It was pretty cool. Let's see on the chat. Not a lot of talk.
We have
Someone says,
Lol's Zeal who says this is dumb and whack.
I don't know if it's talking about the game or us.
Maybe he's a Tigres fan. What if he's a Tigres fan and he's also talking about us too? He's just really frustrated by everything
It's
going
so kind of him.
Louise.
Or her.
Looks like it's a guy. Same as Louise.
Okay, him.
Zeal. This is dumb and whack. Sorry.
Sorry, not
I
sorry.
don't know if you're expecting anything else because we had and chill on there. Apologies.
I did say snacks yesterday on Twitter, so maybe people were anticipating that we would send them some snacks for this Liga MX and chill. Sorry.
Big disappointment.
Give us some ideas. This is the first one. I mean, maybe there's something we can do with each Liga MX and chill. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be kind of maybe fun to do like some kind of question or trivia. Maybe have whoever's on the chat or listening to us maybe come on for the last 10 minutes or something. I don't know. It'd be fun. It's something new that we all kind of came up with just because there's not a lot of commentary in English. And at the same time, it's for our patrons too. So could we, Jason, what's going on with their Patreon and this Liga MX and chill so some of the fans can, but we have an outlook over this.
So we're eventually going to add this as something for our patrons. Right now, it's just for everyone. But once we get it going here, we're going to put it at the base level. So if you decide to support the show, the Mexican Soccer Show, and keep us going at the $2 a month, then you'll have access to the Liga MX and chill moving forward. And we're going to try to do one at least once a week. We'll try to get there, pick a good match, have a few of us on just to talk about the game, and just like we're doing tonight. But like we so said, maybe it's something that as we move along, we kind of mix it up and find different ways of doing it. And so this is kind of an experiment for us today, but we'll see how it goes forward. But so if you do choose to support the show over at Patreon, check out different levels. The $4 level, the Countdown to Russia podcast, which has been going really well. Some great insights if you're following the national team, and every week that great in-depth podcast all about El Tri. And then we're going to have some other things coming up that we're playing around with at the different levels to try to find something that will interest everyone. But check it out if you haven't, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. And your support of the show allows us to expand and to try more things. And rather than just the Monday show, which we're still continuing with.
Yeah, patreon.com/the Mexican Soccer Show. Thank you to everyone who's already given us your money, I guess. Thank you. And for those of you who've already given at least $2 a month, you'll unfortunately get to hear us for at least another 2 hours every week. So I apologize.
You're damn there.
It almost came out good. It almost came out.
Almost.
It was real promising for a second until Jürgen Damm.
So, I mean, Pumas made a substitution. Barrera's out. Abraham Gonzalez is in. Abraham had been a starter for Pumas, but right now he's not. He's coming off the bench. I mean, it's a great bench option to have.
And right, I mean, it looks like they're just trying to close out the game by bringing him in too.
Yeah, so I mean, the results for Tigres to start off the season, I mean, a 2-1 loss to Puebla, 2-1 win against Santos in El Volcán, scoreless draw against Querétaro, 3-2 win over Pachuca last weekend with an offside goal. I mean, I think there's something to note there. 2-0 loss right now against Pumas. So it's not the most ecstatic of starts now for Tigres. And here comes America that is inspired, and wants to make a point. So I think it should be a good one next weekend.
But I think too, the same thing with Tigres. I mean, just looking at the long term, even if they come in at 8th place, they would still be one of the favorites for the title.
Yep.
It's kind of weird just to think about the talent, to think about Tuca as a manager. You know, just someone who's so experienced and so well known in the league that just they could stumble in at 7th or 8th place, and yeah, once again they'll just be title favorites. It almost this loss doesn't really even, in my mind, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like a big deal, just because of the talent that they have. I still think that they're going to go to the playoffs, even if they lose next week. I still think that they'll find a way into the top 8.
But I think we still haven't seen a dominant performance from Tigres, not yet. I mean, like the type of performance that you say, oh shoot, this is Tigres, this is really scary.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the wins that they've had at El Volcán, it's been by 1 goal. You know, and they were tough wins to get for Tigres. I mean, I think the character, here comes Pumas, Nico Castillo inside. No, a good defensive action by Ayala there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, those losses, though, losing to Puebla 2-1 and then a draw against Querétaro. I mean, Veracruz beat Querétaro at Corregidora. So, I mean, why couldn't Tigres beat Querétaro? And this loss right here, I mean, the Pumas just shut them down in the first half.
Yeah, and if we look at those results too, I mean, the wins and like the results that the Pumas have had, it's been against some like tough opposition. I mean, they got the win over Pachuca in Pachuca. They got the draw against America too, and now they're going to be beating Tigres. I mean, they've already faced some of the more difficult teams early on this season, so it's promising for them.
Guys, Taki's replied.
Whoa! What did they say?
Yeah, thank you. I think it was because Naive retweeted it.
There you go.
I was like,
Naive actually retweeted. I was like, I'm not going to retweet that.
Thanks.
Soccer politics only and cat stuff.
They said frame it and then send us a private message with a UPC code, best by date, numbers by the date on the package so we can look into this. I haven't eaten it. I left it at all alone.
So there's some like warehouse supervisor somewhere in like back east HQ that's about to be fired thanks to you.
Hey,
I like the wink though. There's a wink emoji. No?
Yeah, there's a wink. He goes, frame it, wink.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
I don't know, but you know what I was thinking? I'm thinking of putting it on eBay, like Chip Takis, the only one on the planet, $100, or see how it goes. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sell this off.
So not only is Wiso going to make money from this trip, but he's also going to have someone fired from Takis.
Real capitalist, this guy.
He's not getting fired.
9 minutes. 9 minutes in this one left there.
Guys, this half went by so fast.
And I'm sure it felt like it went really fast for Tigres too.
Yeah.
Wow, 2-0.
Oh, we should have started the show off with some predictions. I mean, I don't think anybody would have said 2-0 win for Pumas, but we got to do that next time.
A lot of people with their shirts off at the at Pumas at the Universitario. Is that what you do?
That is what you do at that stadium, yes.
I just like pan over the crowd and like everybody had their shirts off. All right.
I've said this before, but it's just like by far, like of all the stadiums I've been to in Mexico, it's by far my least favorite place to watch a match. It's just
the sun, right?
The sun. You're just so far from the field with the Olympic track.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you can't see anything. The crowd, like you really can't be an away supporter at Puma Stadium either. It's really ill-advised.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people, even though it might be 70 degrees, but there's something about that sun.
Well, just because you're sitting there for 2.5 hours. I mean, or not 2.5 hours. Probably like if you get there a little early.
There's a Tigres player on the ground. Let's see who it is. Looks like probably like Juninho might be. No, Rafael Carioca.
Oh, Perro Bermudez is. I turned up the volume to see really quick. And Carioca.
Yeah,
it was interesting this week, with Tigres that potentially they could have gotten Guido Pizarro, and then the deal didn't go through.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Oh, Guido.
I mean, it looked like the player Guido wanted to come back to Tigres, and the deal was almost set. But then in came the president of Sevilla FC and was like, "Oh, okay, if you want Guido, you got to pay me the whole transfer on the moment. You can't pay it on payments because I think the deal was almost going to be close on payments. Pay me one payment here, then another one. But the president of Sevilla wanted the whole payment to be fulfilled before the transfer deadline. And I think at then Tigres didn't have the money to make such a transfer, which is kind of strange when you think Tigres has a lot of money. I mean, they can easily make this type of deal, but it looks like no.
And they really need a guy like him. I mean, I mean, if we're talking about like talking points for the team, that's just something that's been discussed for quite some time. Is since his departure, everyone keeps talking about like how much they miss him, how much they really need him in that midfield, just because of how, God, he probably was the best when he was here. He was the best defensive midfielder in the league, and he was just so crucial to the team. And I think they're still trying to figure out a way of, how to compensate for the fact that he's not there anymore. So that would have been incredible if they would have been able to do that.
This match is done.
I still think they're going to sneak one in.
Or maybe Pumas. Oh, Pumas. Two Pumas players collided right there for the ball. Who was it? I think it was.
No! Was that Nico?
I didn't even think that was going to happen.
I think it was Formica, and I can't tell the other footballer. Oh, here comes another damn opportunity. Oh, he's trying. No, didn't work out.
I'm pretty sure it was Gallardo and Formica.
I think it was Luis Fuente, no?
Oh, Jurgen.
Come on, Jurgen. Jurgen, damn.
Damn pass. And he just gets it.
It's just strange. It's not a good game for them, this one. If you if you go back at it, it's like, no. Like you go back to this game and he makes it to the World Cup, you're like, what the hell is going on in Osorio's mind?
The only thing I can really think, because I was trying to think of how and why like Osorio wants Jam there, and the only thing that makes sense to me is like, okay, you recognize that he is one of the fastest players like who's playing soccer, and just 80th minute, the other team is tired, just throw him on there and see if he can create something. Just lob balls over to him, see if he can just sprint like crazy and tire out the opposition on that right wing. But that's the only way. That honestly, I just think he's a one-dimensional player that I think that could provide a lot of pace and right wing. I think that's the only reason why, honestly, that maybe Osorio likes him. But
also he's tall.
Also he's
and he speaks English.
No, but imagine if he runs like to the line and then gives a bad pass all the time. I mean, it's not going to help at all if he's like, might as well just put a road runner in the game and see what happens.
Like, he's fast, but I don't see him be like, not Gareth Bale fast.
But Gareth Bale is like fast and good. He can give you some.
Did we just compare Gareth Bale to Jurgen Damm? Is that what's happening now? Okay.
I really think that whoever made that like statistic up, I think it was, who was it in Mexico that did that? The second fastest players in the world.
I mean, I've heard that Gareth Bale is the Welsh Jurgen Damm before, so it's not. Like, I don't think that's a new comparison.
I'm saying. I think Chuki's pretty fast.
No, I think
it's all what you do with the speed, right? It's all what you do with it. And Jurgen Damm's not doing much with his right now.
Chicharito was clocked as the fastest player in the World Cup.
Really? Chicharito?
Yeah. Chicharito.
That seems
Which one? That 2014 or 2010?
One of the World Cups. I'm gonna go back and look at it. Yeah. His speed, like, it was clocked at like crazy.
Really? I don't remember that.
So, I mean, I think this victory, this Pumas victory is going to put on debate, like, that idea that who is the favorite to win the title? Is it Monterrey and Tigres again? Or is there actually potential new candidates into the realm of things? But when you see the situation, like Cesar said, even if Tigres makes it into the 8th place and enters this league, automatically they become a favorite to win the title. And yesterday, what Monterrey did to León, it also proved that, I mean, they're just crazy good. I mean, Urreta Vizcaya is coming off the bench. Ponchito Gonzalez, who was totally out of nowhere, is now doing great things in Monterrey. It's just a stacked team. I think that Monterrey and Tigres are still the favorite ones, and that these teams like Pumas and America could mix a little bit around the things, but it's going to be an interesting game, the next one, America Tigres, just to measure really where America stands. If America is real this time around, and if Tigres is actually going through a really slow kind of phase right now, because if they lose next week and at El Volcan, I think they haven't lost over there since last year, early last year in April, I think it was. You know, it would be a big defeat for Tigres.
I think for Pumas too. I mean, I think there's a conversation about how the team needs to rely on a player like Nico Castillo. But Nico Castillo didn't have a goal or an assist today. And I think that's really, really good news for Pumas fans who worry about, maybe, but there's potential problems and maybe he gets a suspension, maybe he gets a red at some point, injury issues. Like if they're worried about that, this kind of eases their worries a little bit too, knowing that Barrera stepped up, knowing that Alustiza nearly had 2 goals, but he got the second goal. And then also someone like Arribas too could be a threat off set pieces. So I think that's something that they should be pretty happy about.
But even without his like being on the score sheet, like his impact on the match is still there.
Yeah,
he's certainly drawing a lot of attention. But yeah, no, I think you're right, Cesar, that it is a positive for Pumas that they are getting all these contributions from these other players. So that I mean they're looking pretty good. I mean, certainly not a title like a true title contender at this point, but keep playing like this. They're playing as a unit. The defense is really impressive. I mean, certainly Tigres could have had some goals today, and they really haven't been their best. But
yeah,
you got to say that the way Pumas, I mean, it's not something that's just today. It's been this season. This just kind of not a lot of defensive stars on this team, but they're just playing as a unit, and they're playing. I don't know. They're playing to their strengths, and it's working.
Yeah, a win over Pachuca, a win over Tigres, and a draw with America. That's not bad. It's not a bad way to start the season.
I mean, just think about it. Right now, the table, the top 8, one of the top 8 is Puebla. So it's also think about it. It's like, okay, it's been quite a slow start to the season. I think that several teams still. What we saw? Mesa is doing magic there. I mean, they got in 3 wins at home, and I think that's why they're up there on the table. The win over Chivas was so convincing too. No, I think it was really a dominant performance there from Puebla. But other teams that I think surprised me so far, I think Santos and Cholos are also teams to keep an eye on. Cholos haven't conceded a goal yet. Santos has a good season so far with Janini Tavares, Gallito Vasquez, and Osvaldo Martinez. So I think those 2 teams are also in the mix of, kind of just not taking attention off from the Monterrey teams, because I think the Monterrey teams right now still have a certain power over the rest.
Yeah, Santos is, it's just the Giannini show over there. I mean, that guy's just on fire right now. And I think in the past, the problem with Giannini was that he was just so inconsistent. You really wanted him to show a little bit more, like I said, just consistency game in, game out. But he's doing that this season. And with Cholos, I think they've needed a little bit of luck. And it's also important to remember that they've only scored 3 goals so far this season. So there is some significant improvements that need to be made in the attack. But yeah, no, credit to Lahoud for doing so well in net. He has yet to allow a goal, and it was no surprise that he got the call up to the national team recently.
It was 2010. The Chicharito got the fastest player of the World Cup. Clocked in at 19 miles per hour. Usain Bolt is at 23 miles an hour. So there you go. It's a comparison.
Cesar Hernandez, 3 miles an hour.
All right, 3 minutes is almost up. Final thoughts.
Good win for Pumas. Good win for Pumas.
This kind of solidifies, you had those 2 first wins and no wins after that, and now in the 5th win beating Tigres. This Pumas is not. I mean, I would say it's the real deal. As far as.
But it's also Liga MX. It's only week 5. Let's see what happens. Let's see. It
is true.
Let's see what happens.
Look at Nico. Nico's not. When I read the stat, trying to do a preview, I don't think Pumas has won a game without Nico scoring in it in the last No,
Really?
like in the last maybe 10 different or something like that. It was something. It wasn't ever, but there it is. That's the end of the game. But I mean, here it is. Here's Pumas winning a game without Nico scoring against the Tigres that just didn't even look like they're ready to play. But we've seen this type of Tigres before. But even, I mean, the best part of Tigres was 15, 20 minutes after the second half with a little bit more intensity. But yet Pumas was ready to almost score 3-0, and if it wasn't for that Gallardo. So, all right, guys, your final thoughts on the game, and we'll say goodbye.
All right, who wants to go first? I say Jason goes first.
Jason.
Sure.
I nominate Jason.
Okay, I will go first. Yeah, impressive. It's just so shocking to me that the way that second half started, that it ended scoreless in the second half, and they ended with that 2-0. It looked like there was going to be goals for sure. Tigres, so surprising they didn't score. The way they come out that first 15 minutes of that second half, that Pumas were able to withstand that, pretty surprising, actually. So, impressive home performance. I don't read too much into it for Tigres. Because I mean, we saw a lot of just kind of drab performances from them last season. They go on to win the title, but I take more from it from Pumas that they were able to play so well that it seems like they're getting that home field advantage back. That was one of the strongest in Liga MX, and it seems like it's returning. So a great performance from them, and I'm starting to take them a little more seriously, to be honest. With a performance like this today, it was really strong for them.
Good performance for Arribas. I think the center backs, the goal that he scored in this first half, I mean, looking at the stats from the end of the match, 5 clearances, 1 interception, 2 tackles. He won 7 of his 8 duels in the match, and I think that is key, especially when you consider that Gignac is one of the strikers up there for Tigres. I mean, it adds a little bit more flavor to the league, to be honest, to see Pumas being on the top of the table, competing for one of the top spots. And today, you know, like we've said throughout this 2 hours, I mean, it wasn't just Nico Castillo. I mean, I think there was other players that showed up. Pablo Barrera with 2 assists, Alustiza with the goal, and also other great chances. And Saldívar with a great save. That first save in the 46th minute against Edu Vargas, I think was really important, because if that had gone in, I think it would have changed the whole entire perspective of the second half. So kudos to Patiño and Pumas, and we'll see next week. Tigres host América at El Volcán, a game that should already, I think it'll be the game of the weekend, no?
You guys did a good job of closing it all up. So I'll say man of the match, Noel's hat.
Noel's hat.
Indeed.
I think it's
no question.
All right, are we done? Are we done with Liga MX and chill? Is this it?
I think we are, guys. Great chat. I mean, we had all types of. You guys still hear me, right? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Great Liga MX and chat. Thank you guys for joining us.
Liga MX and chat. Liga MX and chill.
Sorry.
Oh my god. Oh no, we gotta stop. We gotta record it all over again.
I was looking at the chat. Thank you, Liga MX and chill. Thank you guys on the chat. All of you, even the ones that said we were whack.
It's constructive criticism there.
At least tell us, hey, we can't hear you, or no, you guys are just whack. I like it though. Thank you, Naive, Jason, Cesar, for taking a little bit of time. We're gonna continue to do this hopefully every single week, guys. So let us know how you like it. Let us know if there's something you guys want us to do. Ask us questions. Throw in something fun. Like it is. It's not necessarily a play-by-play, but we have fun talking a lot.
We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out.
All right. Well,
all right. Thanks.
Make sure you help us out with the Patreon, just like Jason said. Be our patron, and then also watch us tomorrow, the Mexican Soccer Show, and every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific. And I guess that's it, dude.
Later, guys.
Later.